Hey everyone, Rick here, and I thought I would take a quick peek at this special package that arrived today from Cool Mini or Not, namely the Zombicide Black Plague base set. Kind of a really cool Christmas present for backers was the fact that Cool Mini or Not tried their hardest to get this out to everybody by Christmas time. Just the base set, not the add-ons. The add-ons will be coming in a couple months, or I don't even know really. But mine just arrived today, and this is probably old news to a lot of you, because this has been delivered all over the world by now. And US backers got it within the past week or so. Mine just arrived today. And so that's really cool, because that gives us the ability to give it a try. And what is so awesome is that it's actually under the shrink wrap. Under the shrink wrap, they have this hand-signed note from everybody, just talking about backing and their appreciation for the backers. So just how cool is that? That is really nice. And so far from what I've seen, the component quality is pretty darn good. The figures apparently are a bit of a tougher, harder plastic than, more tough and rigid than the bendy kind of plastic. So that sounds good. And so I'm not just going to leave this in the shrink wrap. In fact, I am going to open it right now, because I want to get this game played as soon as possible. Because how often is it when you back a Kickstarter and you go all in, because man, I can't even tell you how much money I spent on this Kickstarter, grabbing every single add-on, every single special box, even if they'd end up being cheaper later at retail. Just, I wanted to get everything. So the fact that I was able to get the base set early means I am not going to be overwhelmed when I try to learn the rules, because if I get everything all at once, my impulse is to hurry and mash everything together. This way I can take it slow, just learn the base game first. So look how thick these boxes are. It is just so impressive. And it's that beautiful square box, you know. So it'll look really nice next to all the other square boxes on the shelves. Let me see if I can get out of the glare a bit. So the first thing is this wonderful rule book. Now this, I should say, is my first Zombicide game. There have been 3 others. They were set in a modern setting, where this is set in a medieval setting, which is why, again, with the fantasy theme that I love, so that's what drew me in here. So, beautiful artwork, and it is a pretty thick book, too. Geez, how many pages is it? 55 pages. That is pretty thick, but from what I understood, it's fairly simple and straightforward rules. Plus, the other great thing is when you get a game that's so popular like this, there are so many resources online for rules, questions, and things like that, especially on Board Game Geek. Now, the inside of this, because I've seen other unboxings of this already, but the inside of this is really cool. See how it's laid out like this, with this little flap? No, that's right. This is actually a separate box. And I'll open that in a second. But underneath here is all of the wonderful punchboard token sheets and map tiles. And here is just an example of one of the map tiles with all that art. Look at that gritty. You can just imagine walking around on the streets and you round the corner and oh my gosh, there's a horde of zombies just barreling towards you. So you grab your sword and you do your best with your allies by your side. I am just pumped for this. So, this is all of the token sheets and map tiles. And they have it nicely in there with these just little cardboard inserts to make everything flush, which that's always nice. So the real goodies must be in this box here. So how do you open this? Flap at the front. Okay. So inside here, oh glory, did you just hear the angels sing? I thought I did, because these are just beautiful figures. And these are a tougher plastic. Now, I like that. This must just be one of the plain old walkers. Let's see if we can get it to focus. Well, it's kind of focusing. But, so yes, medieval zombie walkers. Now see, I am not familiar with Zombicide, so I understood though that there's some opponents called fatties, and I have to assume that this is one of the fatties. But man, my focus really isn't focusing very well. Come on. Because just by the naked eye, these figures look pretty nice. Now, I am not painting them myself. I just don't want to slaughter them. I really don't. And then, so these must be the heroes then. And yeah, so look at that. See, sometimes with the bendy plastic, you'll have swords and staffs that are kind of bent, but look at that. That is a beautifully straight sword. Now, it has some give to it, but it is really nice. And you can see the folds of the fabric look really nice. So that is just great. Now, the really cool thing, if that wasn't enough, are these dashboards, which are just awesome. So here's one of them. So you'll put your character card in there, accessories, slots, other things, and apparently there will be values on the cards, and you can keep track of the values by putting pegs in there. And then this apparently does something down here. From what I saw in a recent review, the higher this goes, the more experience you have, and the tougher things get. So if you're spawning some walkers and you're higher up the food chain, on the spawn card, it'll have that listed there, and the higher you are, the more dangerous and more numbers of enemies will be coming. Here's some dice. Now, these just look like regular old dice. I am pretty darn sure the special edition etched dice are going to be among the add-ons that I get, and I will definitely take a look at that also. And so here's the pegs and also the corresponding colors for the bases that'll go under the figures. So that is all awesome. This is not, I was just trying to think, is this my first Cool Mini or Not game? But no, it's not. I also have Arcadia Quest. I have Arcadia Quest and the original Super Dungeon Explorer. Was that done by Soda Pop Miniatures and Cool Mini or Not? I can't remember. Okay, so that first tray was kind of just a zombie teaser with a few zombies, but this is the tray with all the rest of the zombies. And so you have female zombies, male zombies, fat zombies, skinny zombies. They do not discriminate. And they all look wonderful, and I'm sure there are lots of you out there who are just going to be painting your figures, and they are going to look beautiful. And, yes, something else I saw. On the edge of this box is how to put the figures back in the trays and back in the box. That's for the second tray, and that was for the top tray. So that is really cool. Making use of the inside of the box. So, just taking a look at some of the figures there. So all these zombies will just be spawning and coming after you. Oh man, he has a stomach ache. And the top tray goes back in, and there are necromancers and some absolutely bestial forces. Okay, well, I just think that that is brilliant, and that I just cannot wait even more now for the rest of the stuff to arrive. It is going to be pretty darn awesome, folks. When the rest of the add-ons show up. And this isn't it. Around this time of year, I am having a lot of Kickstarter. And I don't know if I even mentioned that. I backed this on Kickstarter, for those of you who just aren't familiar with Kickstarter. But I backed this on Kickstarter, and it is right around the next couple months, a lot of projects are going to be delivered, and I will take videos of all of them. I went all in on the Dungeon Saga Kickstarter also, and I actually seriously went all in on that one. I went the full painted pledge on everything. Figures and accessories, and all the add-ons and everything else, so that'll be really cool. And then, of course, Dwarven Forge Cities Kickstarter with all those wonderful city pieces. I spent so much money on that, too. So, a lot of great games on the way, but this is just the first taste of that. Zombicide Black Plague just looks absolutely wonderful. And there's no way I'm getting rid of this either, because how cool is that? I love that they made a custom shipping box for it. Oh, one final thing. I won this at my work's White Elephant gift exchange, so I came out pretty good there with a nice electronic air hockey table. Mini one, anyway. Anyway, so that is that. Thank you so much for watching, as always, and until next time.